Welcome to Small Business Saturday.
Welcome to Small Business Saturdays video series with your host and my husband.
And my dad, Aaron Montgomery.
Join the conversation.
Let's talk some business.
All right, welcome. Did anybody do the dub over there? Welcome, good morning. Thank you for checking in with me. I just looked down and said, hey, I should probably turn on the microphone. That'll make this a lot easier. So good morning. My name's Aaron Montgomery, and you can find me over at aaronmontgomery.info and oursuccessgroup.com are the two places you'll find me. Working really hard on oursuccessgroup.com right now. And in fact, big week coming up here this next week. We've got step-by-step guide to building out an Equid store. Todd's going to be leading that one for us this week, and so looking forward to that. But I will be involved, and so we've got lots of stuff that we're working on there. And speaking of Todd, there he is. Good morning, Todd. How are you, sir? Hopefully your Saturday is off to a great start. So cheers. All right. So let me get a couple things going here. Let me get a few things moved around over on my screen in front of me here. In fact, let's take a quick picture and see so you guys can see what I see. There we go. Good morning, everybody. I got a picture of you. There we go. So all right, well, if you're checking in this morning, make sure to say hello. And Mira, thank you so much for joining us, and good morning to you as well. Excuse me. All right, so couple things here. Well, let's dive in today. We're, we can't escape it, no matter how hard we try. It's I've got my monster and I'm ready to roll. Ruth, good morning. Thank you for joining me this morning. And I'm just having some tea here because I've got some gunk in my throat. So not sure why, but a little stuffy. I think just the weather keeps changing here. So anyways, all right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in, because I do actually have a lot of stuff I want to talk about. Kylene is actually sleeping in this morning, and I told her to. She was starting to feel a little under the weather. I think Lewis gave me his cold, and then I gave it to I gave it to her, I think. So trying to get her healthy as quickly as possible, because she takes such good care of us. I don't know who's going to do that. So anyhow, good stuff. Wade, good morning. Thank you. And Cheryl, good morning. Thank you for checking in. Hopefully things are well for you. So anyhow, I want to talk about thriving in problematic times. I tried to come up with a good word. Kylene actually said to me, I don't think I've seen problematic written out. And yeah, so there you go. Problematic. And Cindy, good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. So anyhow, I want to dive into this, and here's the deal. Like I said, I don't think we can avoid it. Everywhere you go, there's some conversation about it, the panic, the news, the stories, and obviously a lot of stuff going on around the coronavirus. So I don't want to get into that. I don't want to I really want to try to not necessarily get beyond that, because it is something we have to deal with. So it's not like we're just going to ignore it and move on. But I want to talk about ways that we can thrive. And as a small business, we're already dealing with uncertainty and fear and some other, somewhat unique challenges from time to time. But what you guys don't know, and what we need to make sure that we remember, is that we are thriving. And every morning we get up, we're thriving. And at what level we're thriving is what we need to figure out. So, the greatest part about being a small business owner is you have control. You have complete control, even when you don't feel like it. So what I'd like to do today is, just for the next 30 minutes or so here, let's skip over all of the commiseration. And I know that that's necessary and needed. But I think we've all done quite a bit of that as of late, trying to wrap our brains around what is happening, what's going to happen, what could happen, all these other things. So like I said, let's skip over all of that commiserating that we've been doing, me included, and let's embrace what we have. In fact, I saw this from a good friend, Mark Coudray had posted this. Obviously he shared it from the people at Unsinkable. It says, breaking news, getting outdoors is not canceled. Music is not canceled. Family, not canceled. Reading a good book, not canceled. Singing, you guys don't want me to sing, but singing, not canceled. Laughing. Have you ever tried that? Have you ever just been sitting there and just fake laughed? Just fake laughed. See how long you can be in a bad mood when you start fake laughing, because pretty soon it becomes real laughter. And then most importantly, hope, not canceled. So let's embrace what we have and let's start talking about that. And then let's talk about some ways to thrive here. So that's my goal for today. So if you guys are all on board for that, let's do it. Here we go. Todd says the lull now will lead to a huge upturn when everything reschedules. Yep. Obviously. So let's. That's a great point, Todd, and that is what seems to be the real positive thing going on here is that a lot of things are being rescheduled. I saw something going around, and obviously everything's going to have challenges that are going to have to be dealt with. But I saw something the other day where the NCAA is working on giving those seniors that are losing their last year here an opportunity to redshirt, to still have some eligibility left. Which again, regardless, everybody's trying to come up with the best way to deal with this. So, and Cindy, I like your comment here. It's a small business spring break. Yeah, there we go. Basically act like any kid 10 and under. They have no fear, no expectations. They just live. And Todd, I'll take that one step further and just say they just thrive. They like you said, they just live. They have no fear, and sure they have trepidations and things like that, and they can see mom and dad worrying, and they can see, and hear what's going on around them and stuff like that. But our 8-year-old, when it's time to play, he plays. And when it's time to get to work and read or do math homework or whatever, he does those things. So that's what I want to talk about here today is let's thrive. So first, I want to kind of I've got 7 strategies that I've gathered and come up with here to make sure that we thrive. And these are just some kind of high level strategies, some things to think about. And then I'll follow that up with a handful of actions that we can take. But really feel free to jump in with your own ideas, thoughts, or anything else. But again, we're going to skip over the commiserating and the blaming and the complaining, and we're going to go with the positives today. So that's what we're about this morning. And again, I'm not downplaying anything at all. And myself, Todd, Cheryl's group, there's lots of support around you. So make sure that you're reaching out and let's figure out these hard challenges, these things that are somewhat unknown and uncertain to us. But right now, let's talk about ways to thrive. All right. So here we go. Number 1, stop the interferences in your business. Take this. Good morning, Greg. Thank you for joining us. And Sandy, thank you. And I will try not to be too much of a squirrel this morning, but you guys know me. That's what I do. So number 1, stop interferences in your business. Use this opportunity, use this time. And things got canceled. I was supposed to be in Nashville right now, and I'm not. I'm at home right now. So, I can be upset that we had to cancel our trip to Nashville, or I can use this time to work on things that need to be worked on. So when I say stop interferences, let's talk about things like, what are the things or people or, just those slight annoyances in your life, in your business that have been there for a while, or, maybe just popped up, but they're not so bad that you feel like you have to go deal with them. You don't want to do the conflict or anything like that. They're annoyances. They're friction, they slow you down just a little bit. Well, first strategy I would say is let's go identify those things and then focus on the solutions. Again, avoiding the blaming and complaining, Just focus on the solutions. Just do, as that famous shoe company would say. First thing every pilot is taught is to fly the plane in the event of emergency. You are the pilot of your own future. I love it. Love it. So fly the plane. And Julia, good morning. All right. So number one, stop interferences. Go and fix those things. Find solutions. Number two, let's focus on success. You can't focus, you can't reach, you can't strive towards success if you don't clearly know what that means. And when I say clearly, do you know what that means specifically? What is success to you? And is it very clear that everybody around you knows what success is to you? Can you feel it? Can you close your eyes and visualize it? We've talked a lot about the VAST technique, visual, auditory, smell, touch, feel. So focus on success, but first you have to clearly define it. So then once you define it, describe it, feel it, and then put specific, very specific, like down to the minute detail. Here's your opportunity to thrive. Here's your opportunity, maybe that job got canceled. Well, guess what? That gives you time to now go better your business, work on your business, and put those plans of success into place. So number two, focus on success. Number three, we need to remain together. Meaning there's a lot of noise right now. There's a lot of, we're also coming into an election year, which causes a lot of friction and back and forth and all of that kind of fun stuff. So you've got everything going on. You've got, people saying stuff about this, people saying stuff about this, people saying, have a heart and realize that people are being hurt by this coronavirus thing. And then you have other people saying, you're going crazy and too much. And why are we canceling? And blah, 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 blah. Lots of noise. So with all of this noise, with all this friction, that gives us an easy excuse to lose touch, to step away, to unfriend, to, do those things. But guess what? These are all relationships, and you might not agree all the time. But what we need to do is we need to remain together. We need to understand that now is the time to be creative with how you stay connected. So maybe we can't get out there and have that face-to-face opportunity. My trip to Nashville this weekend is a great example of that. The trip was all about going and reconnecting a little bit with some great friends that we have that live in Atlanta. And, we haven't had as much chance to see them, but we used to spend pretty much every weekend together and just had great conversations and growth and opportunity and stuff like that. So, what we could do is just go, well, we missed out on that opportunity and walk away. But what we should be doing, and what I plan to be doing, is bolstering that connection, reaching out, finding out what's going on in their lives, having the FaceTime video, using the technology that's available to us and doing things like that. So right now is the time to actually reach outside of your comfort zone. Do something that you wouldn't maybe have done before. Reconnect with somebody, call a competitor and see if there's a win-win situation you guys can come up with. Be active in your groups and things like that. Be active within your community as much as possible when you're maintaining some social distance. But be active and most importantly, let's just stay human, everybody. That's how we succeed. We focus on the people. The one thing that I've really been overly impressed with in our industry, we have some folks that are dealing with having to cancel, postpone, move trade shows. And these things are people's livelihoods. These things are very expensive. And, people are losing money. Good friend Eric Campbell was supposed to be in Atlantic City. And, he's going out there to educate. What they pay him to educate does not cover the cost of the travel. And he doesn't have a booth there, so he's not selling anything. So he's really going out to connect with people. And now he's lost more money because there's some non-refundable things going on there. So just stay connected, support each other, support your local businesses, do things like that. So let me get a couple of comments here. And double down on yourself, Todd says. Let people know you are still here and hear from them. Yeah, I read something that was pretty cool. You know, use this opportunity to reach out to your local restaurant or something like that and find out what you can do to help them. I've seen things with, buy a gift card so you have a night out when it's time to get back out into the world there. So make those connections, call people, and just tell people you care about them. So Greg says business continuation plan should be on the desk of every business owner. Great point there, Greg. Thank you. All right. So let's see. That was number 3. All right. So number 4, come to the rescue. Our brains don't know the difference between what we do for others and what we do for ourselves. And doing things for others is often more rewarding than doing things for ourselves. There's a gentleman that I have a lot of respect for that actually has been on Small Business Saturdays here, Dale Furtwingler. I was already concerned about messing up his last name because it's a difficult one. Furtwingler, Dale Furtwingler. And he said something to me one time. We were talking about, him coming on Small Business Saturdays and talking about things. And I'd really just started connecting with him. And I was very concerned about making sure there was some value for him in spending his time on a Saturday morning with me and whatnot. And I very clearly remember this, and I wrote it down, and I repeat this as often as I can as a reminder for myself. But he said to me, I'm not worried about what's in it for me. I've learned over the years that you cannot outgive the universe. So I think that's a really good point there, that just give. Come to the rescue, help somebody out. There's lots of things that we can do right now. So definitely number 4, very important. Come to the rescue. Be the superhero that you are. All right. Tom, good morning. Thank you for joining us. All right. Number 5, excuse me. Uncompromising study. Basically meaning look at every attempt that you make to do something. Look at every action that's taken. Look at every failure. Look at everything right now as a learning opportunity. You have the time to really reflect. You have the time to get better. And so to do that, we need to have a big year, meaning we have to listen a lot more than we probably normally do. We need to take in everything from everybody, because when things are uncertain, when things are problematic, you never know where the best answer is going to come from. Heck, our 8-year-old is Mr. Solution Guy, and I'm going to listen to him right now. I may be in my own way. And so if something's going on and he says something, he may make the best business decision out of all of us. So you never know where that great idea is going to come from. So we have to keep our ears open. So have a big ear. Next thing we need to make sure that we do is we want to keep an open mind. We need to listen to everyone, even if maybe your initial instinct is to shut them out and say, yeah, they don't know what's going on. They don't know about my business. They don't know how to do this. They don't know how to do that. Well, they may not specifically, but that may also be the best benefit. Sometimes, I've had people say, oh, I don't know anything about this, and I'm so new to this, and I feel so behind. And I said, well, guess what? You may be further ahead than others because you don't have those preconceived notions. You don't have those things in the way. You don't know that it's not possible. So maybe it is possible. We all just assume that something's not possible. But the people that are going to fail are the ones that are going to say, hey, I need help. And then when somebody offers them a solution or a suggestion, they're going to go, no, I just need to do more of this instead. Okay. And maybe you don't have to specifically take their advice, but you need to listen to it. If your immediate answer right after somebody giving you a piece of advice, especially if you've asked for it, is to just automatically decline, then you clearly didn't listen to it. It's fine to go, oh, that's an interesting point. Okay, let me think about that. Doesn't mean you have to go and implement it. What it means is you need to actually think about it, as opposed to just going, no, I don't need to do that. I'll just do this. Okay. But that's not having uncompromising study. So being persistent is certainly important, but we also need to be open-minded. All right. Number 6. Let me scroll down here, make sure I get all my notes in front of me. Number 6, we got to be tough. Stress, pressure, and being buried under a lot of hard stuff is what makes diamonds. So we need to gravitate towards that stress, gravitate towards that pressure. We need to get back up and we need to face the challenges and move forward. Great quote from Zig Ziglar says, "It's not how far you fall, but how high you bounce that counts." All right. So be okay with falling really far, because guess what? When you fall really far, if you're resilient, if you're tough, that means you're going to bounce even higher. So the law of gravity works in failing just as well as it does in real life. If I were to drop this box of Kleenexes on the floor, okay? If it's resilient, if it bounces, it's going to come back up. All right. It didn't come back up. That would have been cool. All right. So that's number 6. Resilience. Yes, Marianne, definitely. Resilience, very important. And the cool part is knowing you guys that are here in the chat right now, and knowing the folks that are listening on the podcast version of this, regardless of what you think, I know that you are resilient, and that's so cool. It's so cool to be part of this community of resilient and wonderful people. Cheryl says we need to have faith that it will all work the way it is supposed to work out. Absolutely. It's just, you don't have to see all the steps. You just have to see one. So take that next step. Then, by that time you take that next step, the next step's going to show itself. Have faith, keep moving forward. Excuse me. All right. Last but not least in these strategies, and then I'll get into some actual actions that we can take here. And again, as you guys have stuff, keep it coming. I'm trying to have a nice mix here this morning and not be too distracted, but also make sure that, you guys have all these great tidbits. And so I love it. Keep it coming. All right. Number 7 is take a chance. The saying, and I looked this up and I couldn't find exactly where it came from, but a lot of people actually give this to George Washington as a quote. But sometimes the best defense is a good offense, which means being proactive and looking for ways to thrive is necessary. You're going to see a lot of people hunkering down and being on defense and playing it safe and scrimping and all of these things. And certainly nothing wrong with that, but to thrive, a calculated risk is necessary. And in my notes, I put calculated in all caps, because that's what's really important, is making sure that it's a calculated risk. It's something that you've thought about. It's something that you understand what's going on, but don't let that need to be calculated get you so afraid that you don't actually do anything. You still take the risk. So it's a calculated risk. It's not a calculated play it safe. It's a calculated risk, and it's necessary in uncertain times. So, like it or not, due to the circumstances, there are opportunities to be had. For example, I'm not, everything on the internet is not always true, right? The interwebs is scary, says Abraham Lincoln. Haha. All right. Now is the time to invest in yourself, your business, and your family. Use this time to better all these aspects in your life. So great stuff there. So again, like it or not, due to the circumstances, there are going to be opportunities. So as I was going to say there, I'm not a big stock market guy. I've never taken the time to really learn it and understand it. So I don't play too much in it. I've got an investment person at Edward Jones that I work with that helps me manage things, and I leave the experts to the expert thing. But guess what? I'm buying some stocks right now. There are things where you couldn't get deals like they're happening right now. Go buy stock in somebody like Zoom. Zoom.us is the conferencing company. They're giving away their platform to public schools, K through 12 schools, so that they can continue to educate our kids when the kids can't go to the classroom. So yes, their stocks may be down, but they're not going to be down for long. So, take those opportunities, get in and take advantage of some great deals. Now, that's buying stocks. I'm not telling you to go buy stocks right now. What I'm telling you is to look at the things out there. And when things look bleak, this is when you have to look for where's your opportunity to not only thrive for yourself, but then help others around you, because that's just going to build such a great foundation that, yes, you might not make money right now today, but not too long from now, when we all get forward on this and and are able to move past this together, who's going to be the strong ones? It's the ones that took action. It's the ones that helped. It's the ones that were being on offense at this time. So where can you invest in your business? Where can you be aggressive while others might be waiting for things to pass? Excuse me. Wow. Todd says, we talked about this. Todd and I did actually, yeah, in a message. Potential, if you do it right, could easily see putting $1,000 into the stock market and having a pretty darn nice return on investment. I threw out 10K. You just look at some things and some of the histories of different things, and when things rebound and recover, it's not impossible. So again, not suggesting that you go out and buy stock or anything right now if that's not what's right for you, but I'm just using that as an example. There are opportunities, even though everything seems to be, negative to a lot of people. All right. So let me just recap real quick what those 7 strategies were again. Number 1, stop the interferences, fix the annoyances, stop the friction. Number 2, focus on success. Make sure that it's clearly defined. Make sure it's out there. Make sure the people around you know what that success is. Because if they don't know what success is for you, they're not going to be able to help you get there. And human nature is to help others. But if we don't know how to help, we don't. So tell them what success is and then ask for the help. Number 3, we have to remain together. We are all in this together, whether or not it's in front of a camera or face-to-face, we're in this together. So we got to remain together. Number 4, come to the rescue. Do things for others, because for everything you do for somebody else, you're planting a seed, you're getting something in return. And number 5, uncompromising study, meaning always look at everything as a learning opportunity, open your ears and listen, and be open to new and creative things that might not be something that you've ever done before. Number 6, be tough, be resilient. Marianne said, great point. Cheryl chimed in with have faith. All of those things are very important in that. Be tough. Like I said, stress, pressure, and being buried under lots of really hard stuff is what makes diamonds. So, embrace that challenge and turn your business into the diamond. Let's see here. And then number 7, take a chance. Again, sometimes the best offense is a good defense. All right, let me get a couple of the comments here. Cheryl says, I still kick myself for not buying stock in Google when it was first being introduced. You and probably lots of others of us, Cheryl. So I'm right there with you. Todd says, people are still going to have babies. They're still going to get married. They're still going to have birthdays. We're still going to wear clothes. It's our job to make sure that we are there to supply them the gifts and apparel they will need. Good point, Todd. And Todd chimed in, or crypto when it was pennies. Time machine. Yeah, let's invent a time machine. So there we go. Greg, great point. Greg says, take a deep breath, pick something that needs fixed and fix it. Everyone needs victories, especially now. Greg, that is a huge, that's a huge point there that actually in hindsight, I think I probably missed. Everyone needs victories. So that maybe is number 8 that I missed on my list there. Celebrate. Don't stop celebrating. Every little victory is a big victory. So celebrating. I'm still trying to figure it out, but when at ThreadX, in fact, the gentleman's going to be on 2 Regular Guys next Friday. His name's Pete Lovelace, and he talked about celebrating. And he actually invited the young lady that was responsible for most of the event management there at ThreadX, invited her up on stage, played music, everybody stood up, gave her a round of applause, standing ovation, and he had these little confetti cannons and launched one of those off. It was a celebration. It was so cool. And he mentioned that most people probably have never gotten applause since they graduated high school. So celebrate everybody around you. The cool part about those little confetti cannons, I bought 15 of them off of Amazon for $20. So, go to the local party supply store and see what you can find there. So celebrate. Good stuff there. Thanks, Greg. All right. So let's get into some of the actions to thrive. So we talked about some strategies. We talked about some mindset. Now we have 8. Thank you, Greg. 8 of those strategies, and I'll go back at the end and just remind everybody here. But let's talk about some specific actions that we can take. I think the first thing that we can look at is let's diversify our services. As they say, and I'm not sure who the they is, but somebody has said, and I believe this, necessity is the mother of invention. And you're going to be faced with some challenge that you would have never thought would have come up. In fact, many of you probably already experienced some things that you were like, I never thought this could have happened. So I mentioned earlier that Zoom's giving away some of their service for free to the elementary schools, the K through 12 schools. But I imagine a lot of these teachers, when they got into teaching, didn't think they were going to have to figure out how to teach an elementary school kid online. So these are challenges. These are things that, but guess what? It just means that we have to diversify. People are grappling with things way worse than maybe some canceled orders, but these are all challenges. But what are we going to do about it is the important thing, not the woe is me. Knowing all of you, our success group people and the other people in this community here, you guys are going to innovate and you're going to diversify. It could be something as fun as like kind of a mood lightning type, I survived the great toilet paper crisis of 2020 shirts, so that's new. That's a diversity. Or it could be deciding to, deck out your car with signage and promotions for your business and make some extra shirts or make some extra things and go out there and go brave the line at Costco and get some supplies that might be necessary for people and then go deliver those to people. You don't have to go in and shake hands and kiss and hug and all that other stuff. You can just quietly drop that off. But while you're driving there, make sure people know about you. So just think about some ways to diversify. What are some ways that you guys are already thinking about diversifying and doing some different things? Let's see here. Do you remember the party more or the present more? Create an atmosphere people will remember. That's a great point. Yeah, in your gift giving products and things like that, it's all about that opening experience. So instead of just shoving something in a bag, maybe now is the time to really focus on getting your presentation down and what is it that your customers need and want and desire. So that's a really good point, Todd. So what are you guys doing to diversify, or just add services or do something a little bit different than normal? When things are going away, what are you replacing that with? So I'll let you guys come up with some things there. So that's the first action item, diversify your services. The second action item is to just actually stop, regroup, flip the switch. As Jack Canfield says, drop out of the ain't it awful club. Take this situation, challenge, whatever you want to call it, take what's going on in our world right now and use this as a wake-up call. Maybe this helps you go, you know what? I do need to focus on my time management so I can make sure that I get the right things done at the right time. Maybe it's time to really reflect on what's important. And if the day job is even tougher now, maybe this is just the right time to make that jump into your business. Or maybe it's time to say, you know what? I need to spend time with the people closest to me more, so take advantage of those things, regroup, refocus, and use this as a positive to make it the stepping stone forward. So, all right, so that's the second thing. The third thing here, the third action item is invest in your business. It doesn't have to be money either. It doesn't mean that you have to go spend, $10,000 on that piece of equipment. Now, it could mean that the people that got stuck at the Irving trade show have equipment that they need to get rid of, and you could get a smoking good deal on it. Could mean, so there are opportunities certainly to invest money in your business too, but things are getting canceled. I've just mentioned, I think I mentioned, maybe I didn't. I've canceled 3 hotel rooms and 2 trips in the last 2 days. So instead of wasting that newfound time, so when I say invest in your business, let's invest some time in our business. Let's not waste this newfound time. Let's take this time to work on our business, not in it. Don't get into the details. Let's step back from it and use this extra time, because you were going to use the current time that you had working in your business. Well, now you may have a little extra time. Maybe like myself, the trip got canceled or something like that. Well, now I can work on my business. So a couple of suggestions here. You guys know me. I'm a big business plan guy, and I think that's really, really important. Work on your business planning. What are your goals for 2020? Maybe you took some time at the beginning of the year to write out what your goals were and get some of that stuff down. But probably was part of a process. You probably did it. And then things started happening. Business started going and the year was started. Did you have enough time, honestly, to really look at that success and then break it down into action steps? Because that's what business planning is. It's defining success, breaking it down into the action steps that we need to get there. What? You don't have a business plan? Huh. I know a guy. We'll get you started. So if you go to aaronmontgomery.info/business plan, and I'm going to actually post this in the comments, that'll get you started. And let me get that in there. Oops. I had the wrong thing. There we go. So I just put it in the comments there. And there we go. Greg says, business plan, write it down or it's not real. That's a good point. And Todd, I'll get back to your comments here in just one second. So start there. Go there. Check those videos out. I expect that I will see homework. If you guys go and watch the videos, you'll know what I'm talking about with the homework. I expect to see homework from at least 5 of you before this time next week. Okay, maybe some of you started and didn't finish. You know who you are. Finish. Take this time. Use that. So, like I said, I expect to see homework from you all, at least 5 of you, hopefully more. All right. So that's the first thing, business planning. Let me go back here because I'd asked what you guys are doing to diversify. And Todd said, I bought a tin of taffy for Valentine's Day from We Heart Biz and it arrived amazing. And then yesterday, a thank you arrived. That's the stuff for you remember. Even if the product was awful, which it wasn't, that follow-up is what will keep me as a customer. I'll post pics of it in all the groups. Cool, Todd. I'm glad that you like that. Yeah, Kylene has really put her stake in the ground that she wants to share a smile, and it sounds like you got a smile out of that. And so that's what's the why is for her, and I love seeing her thrive. So because she's following her why. And then Todd said, we just did a trade out for ads. Ask what they can do for you and what you can do for them. Yeah, perfect. Like I said, you don't have to invest a lot of money. You have to get creative. You have to get out there and ask, and you have to invest in your business. So there we go. I know a guy, build your arc, AKA business plan. I love it. Sharon, I may have to steal that. I'll give you credit for the first time, but then after that, no, thank you. That's awesome. Maya says, I need to do my business plan. I started, never finished. There's a possibility that you may have some time right now. Perfect time. So take action. As Greg said, write it down or it's not real. So hopefully some of those tools. And then coming up right up here, there, that's going to be the next 5 keys. We've got things worked out through, I think the 15th of April is the scheduled Our Success Group videos, starting in, so 2 weeks after April 15th, whatever that date is. I can't remember off the top of my head here, but first part of May, end of April there is when the next 5 keys series will start. And that next 5 keys series is going to be business planning. So we're going to take the videos that I did in a short form here that I just posted over at aaronmontgomery.info. We're going to supersize those. We're going to take it to that next level. We're going to walk it through more specifically in those videos there. It just gets you started. In the Our Success Group 5 keys, we are going to walk through the whole thing, give you the tools, really work with you to get your business plan done. So if you're a member of Our Success Group, that's going to be part of what you get. If you want to just do the 5 keys, we'll have that available, all that stuff. So just go right here, check that out. Make sure you sign up on the email list that's in there. Just scroll down a little ways. You'll see where you can put your information in there, and we'll keep you posted on that. So business planning is one way to invest in your business. The next, excuse me, sorry, just got, oops, there we go. I still have to tweak mine and need to get it done. Good motivation. You were such an awesome help. Great. Greg, good one. If you need a template to start, Google value-added business plans for some great reading. Hey, Joey DeWing, what's up, sir? Great to see you. No problem being late, man. Appreciate you joining me. So thanks a lot. All right, so investing in your business. 1 was business planning. 2, training. It could be as simple as going and just investing a little bit of time in YouTube University. Now, we all know what we get. In fact, I'll scroll all the way back up to, some things are just posted out there on the internet. You got to take it with a grain of salt. So again, we all know what we get. Let's see if I can find that from Todd about, or there, here. The interwebs is scary from Abraham Lincoln. So not everything on the internet is true. It's a quote from Abraham Lincoln about the internet. Probably not true. Just a guess. So you can go to YouTube University. You can look through that. You could work on that. But again, make sure to take it with a grain of salt. But how about read a book? In fact, I put together and continue to add to it a list of suggested reading, some books that I've read and things like that. And you can go over to aaronmontgomery.info/reference and check that out. So read a book. There's some great ones. I'm in the middle of Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. I've got 5 other books on my list. So, working on things like that. So yeah, let's read a book. Let's see what else we got here. We, Todd and Corey, are starting something new. So we will be building a business plan right along with the 5 Keys series. I'm leaving it all up to her. So cool. I love it. And Todd, Kylene's got to refresh hers too. So lots of good opportunities to work along and show reality here. So that's great. So training. So got the books there. Check that out. How about you go through the 5 Keys video series again? If you weren't part of that, I suggest you go check it out. But there's some great tools in there. There's some great things to work on your business, to invest in your business. All right. So go check that out, oursuccessgroup.com/5keys. And again, if you didn't sign up for those, I'd certainly encourage you to go, and it's all still there. You don't get the wonderful live interaction that we have, but all of those questions and answers at the end of each of those sessions are also part of the recording. So there's plenty of great opportunities there. So oursuccessgroup.com/5keys. I really am going to get this stuff out of my head. Oh, Sharon, boom, right there with you. High five. Man, Audibles saved me in the holiday season. I stood back there at Pick the Gift Shipping, and I listened to at least 3 pretty long books over the course of the holiday season. It kept me sane. It was Audibles was huge. So I highly recommend it. Good stuff. All right. So we talked about business planning, training, mastering a skill. As Jim Rome said, you can't get somebody else to do the push-ups for you. So this is a perfect opportunity to dig into something and really work to master it. You can watch training, you can do some planning, you can do all of that stuff, and all very important parts of this, but ultimately you have to take action. You have to do. You can't see it. I'm actually going to go grab it because I think this is important. As Kylene was getting her business, WeHeart.biz started, she was working really hard, working on things, trying to, but just kept kind of freezing up a little bit. And I finally, as we were talking about things, I was trying to help her with things. And I finally just said, okay, hold on a second. Grabbed a piece of paper and I wrote, do. Love, Aaron. And, there are still times, and there's times that she points at it for me too, but there's times, and she's got it posted right above her computer over there. There are times that you just got to take action. You got to try things. You got to break something. You got to then be able to then fix it, So it comes down to action, good old trial and error. Unfortunately, there are not magic bullets in the world. And so everybody that's trying to sell you a magic bullet drives me nuts, because hard work is the only thing that's going to get you to success. And I see you guys doing it. I see you guys doing in the hard work. The problem becomes is we do the hard work. It seems really hard. The success is not as great as we think. But when we can step back from it, look at it, we go, wow, we actually did succeed. It just was along the way. It wasn't like I did something today and all of a sudden. So, for example, I spent 4 hours yesterday trying to figure out chatbots and how to use them for content notification. It was 4 hours of my day that I really wish that I could have back. I probably could have been a little more efficient with some of it, but I wanted to dig in. I wanted to learn everything I could about it. And I tried 3 different services and have 2 more to still try. So, sometimes you just got to do it. You just got to take action. Yesterday on the Two Regular Guys podcast, friend of the show, and sometimes she's in here, but definitely very active in the Business Basics group and over at the Rhinestone World and stuff like that. Pilar Harris said, what your customers are actually paying you for is not the shirt or the vinyl on it, but they're paying for your expertise and the time that you spent mastering that art. So invest in your, and so I took from that you need to master something. Take this time to master something, and then you get paid more because you have more skills, you have more services. So Todd says in Wednesday's Equid class, we will be building a simple 1 product store from scratch. Yeah, that's really cool. In fact, that's a great lead in, Todd, to my 1, 2, 3, 4 fourth thing on our invest in your business section here is time to improve your website. Here's the deal, guys. If your business is reliant on the face-to-face handshake transactions, at least for a short amount of time here, hopefully it's a very short amount of time, that's going to be tough. Can't sugarcoat it for you. It's going to be tough. So right now it's more important than ever to add focus to your website and your digital properties and improving how customers can work with you online. People are going to be staying in for a bit here, and they're going to be shopping online. And what happens is a lot of those people that were somewhat adverse to shopping online, they're going to go, oh, maybe this isn't so bad. And so even after things change, there is going to be a change here. Whether we like it or not, the current situation is going to permanently change the way we function as a society. And it's going to force us faster towards the digital world. Now, my extreme hope, and I will work my tail off to make sure that this doesn't happen within our community, is we don't lose that face-to-face desire and need. But I think we can bolster it by having a great website, by understanding social media, by using it as a tool for good as opposed to a tool for bad. So focusing on your website right now is a really important thing that you can be doing. And as Todd said, on Wednesday, we're going to be walking people through step-by-step process of setting up an Equid store, not a Euclid. I figured out how to say it, how to set up an Equid site next Wednesday. So if you're an G member, cool. You should have been already be getting information about it. You can still sign up to be a member. So if you just go to oursuccessgroup.com and check that out, or you can go over to oursuccessgroup.com/training and just buy that one training opportunity. So it's there. There's information there. You just got to go and get it. All right. All right. So I'll give you guys a second to, those are my action items there. Diversify your services, regroup, and then invest in your business. So I think, I said for the next 30 minutes, we were going to do this, but apparently I meant for the next hour, we're going to do this. So I appreciate you guys tuning in and checking it out. And what do you guys got? What are you guys going to do to thrive in this environment that maybe I missed, or anything you would like to expand on? Any questions you have for me? All really good stuff here. And then I got one more thing for you. Get a little more tea in me here so I don't cough my way out of this thing. All right, let's see here. I'm trying to figure out what the best thing to do here is, because this came in late last night into my email. And in fact, I'm going to slide over here. There. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Mr. Canfield. In fact, he lets us call him Jack, and I love it. Huge fan, and I think I figured out really why is because everything that he does. Now, don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic marketing person. He's a great salesman, honestly. I've spent a lot of money with him, and I know a lot of other people continue to spend a lot of money with him, and so he's very successful. But he's also cares deeply and wants what's best for the world and what's best for the people around him. Thank you for the yes. I've got my Batman jammies on here still, so forgot all about that. Hilarious. Good times. See, we fail and we keep moving forward. So the crazy part is I did actually shower. I just knew that I was going to go back and get some rest because I don't want to wake the family up this morning. All right. So Mr. Canfield sent an email last night, and he's going to be hosting a short webinar addressing the coronavirus Monday, March 16th at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time. So that's 2:30 here in Central Time, 3:30 Eastern, and 11:30. I'm sorry, not 11:30, 1:30 Mountain Time. And he's going to be sharing some important principles and practical tools to how to effectively deal with the current health crisis, including how to stay positive, avoid anxiety, fear, panic, and cope with the very likely business, financial, and social and physical disruptions. So that's not a fail. And yes, Martha, me too. I think I hopefully would have recognized if I was not wearing pants, I would have just tried to point at the book or something. But anyhow, hilarious. I love it. It's like a news anchor, suit top and gym shorts. Again, just glad I had pants on. So anyhow, Mr. Canfield is going to be doing this training completely free. He said, in fact, I will not be selling you anything. I'll not be offering anything else. I'm just going to do this training. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this into the comments here so you guys can actually click on it. So March 16th, 12:30 p.m. Pacific time over at Zoom there. Check that out. Now, he did note that they do have limited capacity on the Zoom platform. So if you're unable to join, they're going to send out a replay. And I will be posting that replay for everybody as well, because I think it's really going to be great information. So there's my last bit for you guys today. And let me know what's going on with you guys. Let me know what I could do to help. I'm just proud of you guys, honestly. I'm just super proud to be part of this community. I'm super proud to watch everybody standing up. There's a lot going on right now. And I see a ton of people posting about, if people need something, let me know. I'll get out there and go drive around and do it. I've seen people posting about, those of you that are worried about your kids because they're getting 2 of their meals a day from school, to reach out and providing stuff. And I'll offer out the same thing. And I know you guys are all helping, so I'll be doing the same thing and offering that out to our community and neighborhood. We're going to get through this together, and I am super proud to be a part of all this. So let me know what you guys need. If there's not anything else, though, I am going to get it out of the way. I'm going to pop one more thing up here just in case. If you guys need me, there's where you can find me, Aaron at montcoconsulting.com. And really working hard on our success group right now. So excited about everything that's coming in the future there. Website's coming along awesomely. So actually, it's on Todd and I right now to get our stuff together and get back to them with what changes they need to make and stuff like that. And then we can start really getting it out there live. So we're going to make that happen soon. In fact, Todd, let me know when, buddy. There we go. I'll bring the fireball for the fireside chats. I love it. I could use some fireball right now to clear out what's ever stuck in my stuck in my throat. But thank you guys. Really appreciate it. And I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here and get back to work here, guys. I love it. Again, let me know what you need, and we will see you guys Tuesdays with Todd happening at 6 o'clock on 6 o'clock Central Time. I don't know why I'm struggling with that. 6 o'clock Central Time over at the Business Basics Awesomely. Let's see. Oh, Todd says I'm good now. Well, guess what I'm doing after this? So I'm going through the website with Todd. I love it. So Tuesdays with Todd. Todd, where's that at? Tell us where we can find that at. Again, the Business Basics group on Facebook, over at Fat Dad Wholesale over on YouTube. And so Tuesdays with Todd. And my guess is he's going to be expanding on these topics even further than I did today. And, so that's kind of what our plan is. Right now I get to lead and Todd will follow, but we'll have other weeks where I follow what Todd's talking about. So we're going to try to synergize there more, diversify our services, so to speak. So, yeah, thank you, Martha. I just need to, crazy part is I jumped in the shower, but it was a quick shower. So, I need to just go take a nice deep shower. And after I get it all out in the morning, I don't know what it is, but the mornings have been tough for me lately. So no big deal. I'm fine. All good. All right, you guys. So check out Tuesdays with Todd, and then we will see you on Wednesday for the Equid training. And if you don't know what that is, go check out information there. Reach out to me and let me know what you need. And I'm excited to see you guys all this week. All right. Have a wonderful one.